What's up everybody, it's Sean here, back today to give you guys a review of the Nike Air Max 95 Premium in this Houseflies colorway. So this shoe released alongside an Air Force 1 Low as part of Nike's Houseflies pack to celebrate Halloween. So whereas the Air Force 1 was basically an all-white shoe, for these Air Max 95s they flipped the script, and this is a predominantly black-based sneaker, but the key difference with this pack is that both shoes feature these Housefly graphics all over the entire sneaker. So for these Air Max 95s, they retailed for a price of $200 or $245 here in Canada, and the official colorway for this shoe is black, neon yellow, and metallic dark gray. As of right now, from what I'm seeing, these seem to be sitting at most retailers that have sold these. For me, I got these over at the Closet Inc., which is one of Canada's best sneaker boutiques. They're independently owned and operated, based right here in Southern Ontario in Canada, and they're basically my go-to shop when it comes to Jordan retros and Nike releases like this. So if you are watching from Canada, check out the Closet Inc. They're great people over there. I'll link their socials, their website, all that stuff down below. Check them out, show them some love, give them that big hello, and tell them that you heard about them through my channel. So the Air Max 95 has been an extremely popular Nike model, and while it's kind of always been popular over the years, this year especially it seems like there was a lot more hype behind it. So it's really no surprise that Nike decided to release both an Air Force 1 and these Air Max 95s to try to cash in on that hype and popularity. So jumping into the details of this shoe, the majority of the upper, this is crafted out of a black leather, and while the official shoe name is Air Max 95 Premium and the official Nike description states that they utilize premium leathers, unfortunately, at least from my eye test, the leather used on this shoe is actually a synthetic leather, which was extremely disappointing. So everything from this W-shaped overlay on the front toe box to all the side panels. If you look at the cross section of this, you can see it's just not genuine leather, but they try to make it look like leather with this top layer that has an artificial tumbled look. So either way, like any other Air Max 95, we have this multi-layered look, and then pressed onto the leather, we have these Housefly graphics found all throughout the shoe. And then moving downwards towards the heel, we have a jeweled swoosh, which is done in this neon yellow color. And then along the back of the shoe, we have a reflective panel in dark gray with Nike Air branding featured at the very top of the heel. In terms of laces, this pair comes with a rope style lace done in this black color. They weave through this synthetic leather layer here, which helps to hold the laces in place. Underneath this, we have this woven layer covering the bottom of the tongue, whereas the top of the tongue is covered in more synthetic leather, and we have this embroidered patch with Air Max branding on it, but it gives it a Halloween twist with these cobwebs on the right side. On the back of the tongue, they also feature an embroidered spider as well. I thought this was a nice touch. And then the back of the tongue and the inner collar of the shoe, this is covered in this black colored liner, which has a pretty soft and silky feel to it to the touch. For the insoles, these come in their typical foam line insole. It's covered in a black mesh on top, and we have Nike Air Max branding pressed onto the heel in this neon yellow color. So the upper of the shoe sits atop a polyurethane foam midsole, which is painted entirely in black. However, this being an Air Max 95, we have visible air units both underneath the forefoot and the heel, and you can see it's done in this neon yellow color. And I don't know how much of this is true, but I read online that these air bubbles or air units are supposed to glow in the dark. So I tried exposing it to light, I tried shining a blue light on it, and for me, I just wasn't able to get these air units to glow, so I don't know if that's true or not. If you guys own a pair of these, let me know if your pair glows in the dark. Maybe I just wasn't waiting long enough, but I'm just questioning the truth behind that claim. Anyways, turning the shoe over to the bottom, so the outsole here is crafted primarily out of black rubber. We have a waffle style traction pattern on the forefoot with these grooves to give you some added flexibility. And then running down the back half of the outsole, we have a TPU shank plate, which is extremely stiff. This helps with torsional rigidity and mid-foot support. But alongside the Nike Air branding, we also have Houseflies all throughout. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this shoe. And for those wondering about how these fit, so in my case, I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. I almost always go up half a size with the Air Max 95s. So I got these in my normal Air Max 95 size, which is a half size up. And trying them on, I actually felt that they ran a little bit roomy. So if I put my heel all the way at the back of the shoe, it left me with just over a thumb's width space between the very top of the shoe and the top of my toe. To me, that's a little bit too much space, but keep in mind the Air Max 95 is a bit more of a narrow fitting sneaker. So if you have a narrow, normal, or even a slightly wide foot, I feel like you can go true to size in this shoe. But if you have a wider foot, maybe it's just best to stick going up half a size or just foregoing the shoe, avoiding it altogether, because honestly, Air Max 95s aren't the best for super wide footers. So long story short, I feel like these were noticeably more roomy than any other Air Max 95 that I own. So if I had a second chance, I'd probably be curious to see how just going with my normal true size would fit me. Moving on to the comfort, so these feel more or less like any other recent Air Max 95. It's not a significant increase in comfort over Air Max 95s from years past, but because of the bigger air units, you do feel a little bit higher off the ground, especially underneath the heel. It's not a significant upgrade in terms of the normal step in comfort, but for a casual use sneaker, Air Max 95s are gonna be fine. Just don't expect anything that's extremely soft, extremely pillowy. This is technology from 30 years ago, so definitely have your expectations in check. If you're going into buying this expecting that it's gonna be a very, very comfortable model. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so like I mentioned earlier, this is definitely where I was by far the most disappointed about this shoe. If they're calling this an Air Max 95 Premium, and on the description they're saying that they use premium leathers, I don't know, there's just a major disconnect between what the shoe describes and what it is. From what I can see at least, I'm not cutting this up and actually looking into it, but from the eye test, this looks like synthetic leather. There's nothing premium about the materials whatsoever. The build I thought was fine, so I give them that. No issues, no flaws. It's just a pretty well put together model. It's just unfortunate that they gave us subpar materials on a special edition model like this. So with all that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet, I'll lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, this is a pretty basic Air Max 95 at the end of the day. It's predominantly just a black based sneaker with neon hits. And I guess it comes down to how you feel about these Houseflies on your shoes. To me, I think it's not the greatest idea coming out from Nike, to be honest. Some of their past Halloween releases have been amazing, super creative, but this pack with this and the Air Force One, I just thought it was kind of lazy. And it's not really something I can see myself wearing, having Houseflies on my shoes. It's suitable for now, given that it's around that Halloween season, but I just can't see myself wearing this beyond October 31st. So leave your thoughts down below. Let me know, what do you guys think about these Air Max 95s in this Houseflies colorway? What are your overall thoughts on this shoe? Do you think it was a lazy take on the Air Max 95? Do you think it was done well? However you feel about them, leave your thoughts down below. And as usual, if you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'll link my socials down below for you guys to check out. And be sure to check out the Closet Inc. as well for all your Nike retros. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoy this review, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.